As corporates, we have a responsibility to the communities around us. Our growth cannot simply be in the way of profitability, but also creating sustainable jobs, eradicating poverty, and generating opportunities for all South Africans. Brimstone's social commitment is an extension of its mission statement of being profitable, empowering, and to have a positive social impact on the businesses and the individuals with whom it is involved. With this in mind, Brimstone established the Brimstone Empowerment Share Trust, or BEST, in 2005, with the intention of supporting a broad range of NGOs and non-for-profit organizations through the allotment of Brimstone shares.
We're grateful to Brimstone because through the relationship with Brimstone, we've been able to build up on our legacy fund, which is a sustainability fund, because what they have encouraged us to do is to take the dividends, for example, that we get. Whenever we get those dividends, we do not spend them on projects, but rather put it away for long-term sustainability. So our relationship goes back a while, and we're grateful for such relations because they help us sustain ourselves way into the future.
The relationship with Brimstone Investments goes back quite a few years. One of our board members got in touch with Brimstone Investment staff, and they had a discussion, and Brimstone were very interested in the work we do, the model we provide, and the cause related to what we're doing that helps the environment as well as provide hungry people with meals. A discussion ensued, and from that Brimstone decided that they will support this organization.
So far, it's been a prestigious honor to be associated with a company like Brimstone. The reason for this is being associated with Brimstone or being part of their best beneficiaries. This gives us credibility as a foundation, because a company like Brimstone would not have invested in a fly-by-night organization.
Brimstone has acknowledged the work that we're doing is valuable for the Mitchells Plain community, and I think also the partnership or the liaison that they have with Minister Trevor Manuel also played a big role. We were very excited when they awarded us these shares in the company to pursue some of the projects that we want to.
They are supporting us, they are supporting our bakery. You know, we get like stuff when it's winter, we also get stuff when it's winter. But you know, Brimstone is not only supporting our organization, but other stakeholders that we're working with. So it's quite a broad support that they are doing, and we really appreciate it.
This particular scheme that we are involved in is the BEST program. What is amazing about it is, first of all, it's one of the few, if not the only listed company that has this here, where they are able to engage with social development programs like ours and offer this kind of assistance, whether it's through direct financial assistance or through shares.
Brimstone is a very exciting new relationship. So it's a new, young sponsor, a sponsor we're very excited about, a sponsor that's really looking to the way and needs of NGOs as far as future sustainability.
We're going to make sure that this partnership is really going to be special. We will feed back to them all the time. We have a monthly newsletter that we send out that will go to them. We'll invite them to come and visit us from Cape Town. So we're going to build that partnership so they can see that their investment has been a worthwhile investment.
The relationship with Brimstone and Brimstone, its chairman Fred Robertson, they provide us, or they allow us to use their facilities. We're an NGO, we collect money, and all the money we collect is dispersed.
There's a little bit of stability knowing there's money coming in. It helps. That means you don't have to go and source it for the next month. At least you know that little bit come in and it's helping.
I couldn't believe that anyone would just give us shares and actually give us credibility and transparency immediately with donors, because that's what happened. So we walked the walk. We got the shares from Brimstone, so we're one of their best beneficiaries.
I saw this basically as an opportunity for long-term investment and for long-term sustainability of the organization. And that has brought a whole new way of thinking around raising funds for the school.
They've played a major role in the sense of funding. They're one of our funders, and they've also adopted us in the sense of shares, which has been given to us. And whenever those shares have these dividends, we are one of the lucky ones or lucky organizations.
We've been privileged to be the beneficiary of the BEST program. We've been privileged to have a close association with the leadership of the company, and that really has infused us with a tremendous sense of support, of having such a powerful organization backing and believing in us. It's been truly unique.
The allocation of shares is not your traditional form of funding, but it's quite innovative. And also, so while we received the shares in 2010, and then again we received additional shares in 2012, the relationship will of course be ongoing for the duration of the period that we hold the shares.
It's unique in the sense that we are a beneficiary of shares. But I think the uniqueness lies around how it is we are able to gain credibility as an organization where a donor or a funder has invested in an NGO like ours.
Our particular relationship has always been the bigger benefit to the students. An immediate rand that comes in pays for an immediate expense, and that is how we function. But with Brimstone, the relationship was one that we said, how do we have a 10 and 20-year relationship towards long-term sustainability? So to be able to have shares in a company like that and to be able to sit on those shares and build long-term reserves has been an absolute cornerstone for us.
We are very privileged to be sort of a partner in Brimstone. Mr. Gulam Akawari, a previous MEC of Social Development, recommended us to Brimstone. Brimstone came to us and they did an assessment of all our services as well as our financial management. And then we received the good news that we were accepted as a partner that can get shares in the company.
Brimstone called us a few years ago to say, look, we've selected you as one of the charities. We identify the work that you do, and we'd like to give you so many shares, and will you accept?
Well, Brimstone is one of those, I think, rare organizations that committed itself to giving shares to entities like Sakakamva at no cost.
Well, we look at all the projects that come through. They first screened in-house by a committee, and we have criteria, and then those screenings that come to the board, we meet once every 3 months, or 4 times a year, and we then look at those projects, firstly whether it meets the criteria, secondly discuss them, and then as a board decide whether we're going to allocate shares to them as an organization.
The shares have a vested value and can be sold by the nominated beneficiaries after a period of 5 years in increments of 20% per annum. Over and above this, however, recipients participate fully in any dividends declared by Brimstone from the date of receipt of shares. Since its inception, the number of organizations participating in the BEST program have continued to grow as Brimstone Investment Group seeks to further positively impact the communities and individuals it touches.
The assistance is one of sustainability. that it ensures that Cheshire Home Summer Strand is going to be around for a long, long time.
Funding of this nature could provide a model for future sustainability for NPOs. It has a number of benefits and has helped in a number of ways. So it has strengthened our balance sheet. It is helping us move towards greater future sustainability by building our reserves.
What Brimstone Investments donation has allowed us to do was to be able to keep trucks on the road so that we're able to bring meals into our warehouse and then provide meals to hungry people that need that assistance.
The value of those shares now are almost R1.5 million. And that then goes to our working capital for operational costs and also for the endowment fund, which then again goes to our shareholders in the form of a dividend.
It's there now, we're not using it now, we're allowing it to grow. So we can't see the benefits of it now, but we'll see it in the long term. And hopefully as the thing grows, and if they decide to make another contribution, in years to come, to make that returns stronger and bigger, it'll benefit somebody along the line.
We now have shares on our books from which we derive dividends to see to the day-to-day affairs. But the shares are encumbered over various periods, so we can't, for instance, sell any shares in the first 4 or 5 years. Once we reach those vesting periods, we can then dispose of those shares and utilize those funds. But the idea is that our balance sheet looks very good. As an NGO, if we wanted to raise money, we could take that balance sheet to a bank and say, look, we've got R1 million worth of equity in the form of listed shares.
In many ways, be very positive, Kailetu. Again, finances is the biggest thing with a children's home, and it's huge money to run this project. And you can't just give food and a roof like the department expect. You want to do really holistically look at the boy and do as best as you can for the boy before you send him back into the community. And that's where finance is a big role.
The biggest part of it is the credibility, because if you fill in application forms, you have to show who's the people who invest in you. And because Brimstone has got such a brand and they are so well known, it gives us credibility. So not funding really, it doesn't really make a big difference, but that is something that's also part of our sustainability. And that proves that we are really serious about what we are doing. We're not just getting funding to cover day-to-day costs, we are actually making sure that we are going to be here for the next 145 years.
We often speak to the staff about long-term planning, and we can't plan long-term without funds. So our focus and the lesson we have learned from meetings with Brimstone is that the future for us is to actually ask for shares.
The shares are, for us, something that's going to almost, how can I say, it's like an insurance, that we know that while we are carrying on raising current funding, we have these shares that are available if and when we need them. And that we are going to get dividends, so we are going to get some funding for the shortfalls that happen with NGOs, but also the fact that we can actually go out there to new corporates now and say, we have got some long-term funding. We're not going, don't worry, we are going to be around for the next 2-3 years because a company like Brimstone has given us shares.
Currently, we are quite pleased with the fact that the Brimstone shares have appreciated in value, and hopefully we'll be able to unlock it at some point in the near future. And that's the benefit that we're looking for.
The benefit of that is, they are listed on the JSE, so the whole country can take note of the services of Sinuthandu. We receive annual shares or dividends of our shares, which help us then to render, the physical services to the children regarding food and clothing, etc.
So we're busy with the support of the Royal Buffalo King and other private individuals, be Brawn organisation as well, giving us equipment. We're busy building a burns unit, which will be completed by the middle of this year, and will be the only facility of its kind servicing sort of the central northern regions of South Africa. With that facility in place, we're going to be able to hopefully access expertise that is unique in this whole area of skin grafting and cultivation of skins.
So in short, Brimstone has given us in a way that they've addressed our short-term need while at the same time investing in our long-term success. And that for us is an invaluable model, and it's something that we're really hoping other corporates will take up and emulate, because I truly believe that if we have a wide range of blue chip companies investing in the same way that Brimstone has, we'll have a different landscape for the welfare and non-profit organisations in this country.
So the way that it helps us is twofold. Again, one needs, if I can just take a step back, the way we pay our bills, as it were, is we have a couple of ways that we do that. The one is that we get through corporate social investment, we get cash. We need money in because we need to buy muffins and pay salaries.
We use the dividends that we received, like the sum of 15,000 rands, in the bakery, and also it gives us a leverage into other companies, like to let them know that we're being supported by Brimstone.
Our hope would be that other investors will see Brimstone has chosen you, there's some shares for you, and that it will give them perhaps just the satisfaction that we're a credible organisation, that we're a good team to partner with, we're not a fly-by-night organisation, and that any investments made to Missionvale will have a real and tangible impact on the people that we serve.
When you are judged by any entity that does an audit, you are judged by the strength of your balance sheet. And that's exactly what the shares does to your balance sheet. It just gives you that strength, because you have a very firm asset in terms of Brimstone shares, which of course makes your solvency ratio look so much better.
I'd like to look at how we could reach out to more organizations. We haven't mastered that yet. And because there's so much corruption and organizations that just, as I say, appear and then disappear, we have to be so cautious as to how we actually allocate these funds. So if we could master that, we'd be able to do so much more. And I think that, Brimstone as a company needs to be applauded, because in a short space of time they've made a very big financial contribution to organizations that are making a difference in the community. And it's a great pity that we can't get other organizations to do likewise. To really, there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of advertising, there's a lot of media, but whether that money is actually getting to those organizations is questionable.